Hey guys, Jesse with Texas Bushcraft. I haven't shot a video in a while, so I decided to come out here and review. This will be an initial review. I haven't used it at all. I've just taken it out once. So I'm going to go over some specs of this. This is a Bushcraft USA 10x10 coyote tarp, and I'm going to string it up in between these trees. I haven't done so yet, so this will be the first for you and me. And so let me give you some of the specs. I wrote them down here because knowing me, I'd probably forget them. It's a Bushcraft USA 10x10 coyote tarp. It's a 1.9 ounces ripstop nylon. That's what it's made out of. And this is a more heavy one. I think there's 1.6 and 1.3. I'm not certain on that one. But it has a urethane coating that's 0.75 ounces per yard. So for every square yard of this, it's almost an entire ounce of urethane coating on it, and which brings the total weight with the stuff sack 1 pound 13.75 ounces, which is a little on the heavy side. It's almost 2 pounds. It's 2.25 ounces short of 2 pounds with the stuff sack, and it has 16 tie outs altogether. There's 1 on each corner and then 3 in between each corner as well, so 1 in the center and then 2 on the quarter. But and then there's 3 on the ridge line. So altogether you would have 5 on the ridge line, including the ones in the center on the edges. And like I said, this is on the heavy side. They have an olive brown seal nylon. Seal nylon is nylon with silicone impregnated in it, which makes it a lot lighter than a coating would. And it's the olive brown 10x10 seal nylon Bushcraft USA tarp is 1 pound 2 ounces. So you're knocking off 11.75 ounces with the seal nylon. But that one's far more expensive than this one, almost twice as much. This was just under $70 with shipping to me here in Central Texas. They ship from Georgia. I'm not exactly sure of the city. I can't remember. But that's all the specs for it. Like I said, I haven't even opened this up yet. Or actually, excuse me, I have opened it up. I haven't even set it up yet. So that's what I'm going to do. I got a little bit of paracord and some bank line. And you know, before we get started, that's one thing I like about bank line is I'm not really afraid to cut it. You know, I'm not afraid to cut it up in 1 foot sections. Because it's plentiful. I mean, it's cheap, and it lasts and works really well. Paracord, on the other hand, it's kind of expensive. I think it's what is it, 17 or $7 for 100 feet or so, and I think you can get 1,000 feet of bank line for, I think it's like maybe 18 bucks. I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the camera running. Probably turn this into some fast motion stuff, and I'll set this up. I'm just gonna set it up in a normal A-frame as if I had maybe a hammock under it. I'm gonna set it up real high just so we can get a good look at it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, so I guess one more thing before I get started. Let me show it to you. So like I said, it has 16 tie outs altogether, 1 on each corner and 3 in between them. So this is in half. I'll split it open once I start stringing it up. Here's the ridgeline tie outs. Looking at the stitching on it. Looks like some pretty good stitching on it. I'm sure the ridgeline isn't really going to be going to have too much pressure on it. So, and if you look at it this way, 10x5, and because of those ridgeline tie-outs, you could turn this into a 10x5 tarp. You could just use the each tie-out in the corresponding side and spot as 1 tie-out, and you could use it as a 10x5, which is kind of cool. I've never used a square tarp before. I've always used rectangular 8x10 such, 7x10s. So this is my first experience with a square tarp. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this up. Alright guys, so step one complete. I was trying to figure out a way to tighten this thing up right. So what I did here, I got a little prusik nut right there, prusik, however you want to say it, that leads into figure 9 carabiner. Only reason I'm using that is because it's the one I had on me at the time. And so we got the ridgeline tie outs going across, and on the other hand here, same thing, prusik nut. This is just a little trucker hitch that I put in just to shorten it some because it wasn't making it tight enough. And this is just a little baby carabiner that was just on a keychain or something that I had that I keep on my pack. So I just wanted to show you that. And there is a top and bottom to this one, to these tarps. I'm not sure if you can see there. It's got a little bit of shiny coating to it. I'm assuming that's the side that's urethane, well, where the urethane coating coagulated or sat. So there is a top and bottom to that. Easy way to tell is because, well, the ridgeline. So I'm gonna make, A-frame here. I'm just gonna tie out the corner sides here. Well, it looks like my knot's slipping up there. I might have to put another loop in it. Probably the other side too. No, that side's good. So I'll put another loop in that. I'm just gonna tie out these corners and maybe the middle, and I'll get back to you. Alright, before I go any farther guys, I just wanted to say I think, well, these loops here were made by Bear, admin on the forum. These are made out of am steel, and if you feel the texture of the am steel, it's really slick. This is the same stuff my whoopee slings are made of, and I think that because it feels that way, and this paracord is, you know, kind of slick as well, that it's slipping on it. So what I did is I just put another loop in both sides, and you know, it's good now. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So, okay. I'm gonna knock out 2 stakes here. I'm gonna stake out these ends. I'm gonna stake them out real far. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Stake them out real far with some bank line, and I'll be right back. Sorry I was out of frame there for a little bit. Let's go ahead and show you what I've done. Well, let's see. I mean, we've got more tie outs here, but this is only half of it. What I did here, I just make a loop, ran it through there. Made a loop, ran it through there, ran the string through the loop. Comes down into my stake. Here's a clove hitch. I just stick that in there and whacked off the excess. Did the same on the other side there. It's just on the other side of that log. And here, I just, same thing. Runs down. And by the way, I've noticed on this bank line, I guess sometimes, I don't know if they have a hiccup or something. I mean, if they have like a mess up in the run and they splice it together, but I noticed that a lot on this bank line. I did here, just make 2 slippery nuts in there just to hold it. Alright guys, so there's that side. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around. I'll do the other side the same way I did this side. And we'll look at it and I'll do the obvious and throw some water on it. It's pretty big. I'm not used to this size. So let me go ahead and do that, flip this camera around, get on the other side done, and I'll get back. Okay guys, so I finished. I took a little detour. My buddies were fishing down at the river. Wanted to go say hi. So I took a little detour, and right after I finished. So same thing I did on the other side. I did on this side, but I used a piece of dead branch there, and this thing is huge, man. It's like, I don't know if A-frame is the best use for a square 10 by 10 tarp, because this thing is massive, man. I mean, I could tie off here and just let that lay down, and I could have sidewalls. I could tie off here in between, and I could have, if I did it correctly, I could have doors. Maybe, I don't know. I've never, like I said, I've never really done anything with a square tarp before. So let me situate the camera better so I can maneuver a little bit better, and I'll show you. Alright, got the camera situated better on my tripod here so I can show you around. Like I said, let me set this down on the ground and just show you how big this thing really is. I'm about 6'3", standing up. So I would guess this thing's just about maybe 5 feet off the ground. And probably not that tall. Let's see. Yeah? About 5 feet. And this thing is absolutely massive. I don't really know what to do with all this space now. I mean, I'm used to having this much. Just enough for my hammock and my gear to sit underneath. But with this, I mean, there's so many, it seems like there would be so many more possibilities to explore with this. A bunch of different setups and things like that. And I'll probably do that later or in the future. Show some videos of different setups with this thing as I'm exploring it and seeing what I like the most about it. So let me get my canteen, and I'll pour a little bit of water on the ridgeline, and we'll see how well that beads off. Alright guys, so I got a cup of water here from out of my car instead of using water in my canteen. Let's go ahead and pour this thing better angle here. See it beating up, which I guess wouldn't be that great. So I mean, I'm just gonna toss them on there. Okay. So let's do the seam now. Only got a little bit of water left. Right on top of that seam. That's all of it right there. So, it's kind of holding up right here, but that's just the way I set up the tarp. I'm not really worried about that. I don't think that'll matter. You can see that stuff just jumping off of there. I mean, it's definitely going to be waterproof. I don't know, I didn't read anywhere about seam sealer, whether or not I'd have to seal these seams or not, but I probably will, just to give it extra. You can see how these turn up here. I wonder if there'd be a way to prevent that. I mean, I guess I could have it lower, but I kind of set it up like this on purpose just so we could see what it looks like. Now that I think about it, it's actually kind of crooked. I'm not worried about it. It's not a big deal. Okay guys, so you saw me set it up. You heard all the specs on it. You saw the water test. And there might be a real water test tomorrow morning. There's supposed to be AM showers. We'll see, 30% chance. I doubt it's going to happen though. But it's supposed to be sunny the rest of the day. So, anyway, you saw me set it up. You heard all the specs. And so, my personal review, although I've only had it for 3 days now, and this is the first time I've used it, I love it. I mean, I haven't really had much experience with, tarps meant for what we do. So this is my first experience with this. And I've set up plenty of tarps, being from one end, from the cheap ones you can buy at Walmart that grommets rip out, the blue one that you may have seen in other videos. The grommets ripped out on it. It's a outdoor products tarp. I sewed 2 5x10s together, or not 5x10s, 5x7s. Sewed them together to make a 7x10, and I used it a total of maybe 10 times, if that, and the grommets ripped out. That kind of tells you something about that product. I mean, it worked. It was really, really light, and it was really, really compact, but it's just not made, for wear and tear like we do. So, being that this is made by bushcrafters for bush, crafting, for self-reliance, for camping, that's what it's going to be good at. And I love the size. A 10x10, I mean, it's huge. It's a square. Like I said, I don't really have much experience with square setups, so I'll have to explore around with that some. But anyway, that's been my initial review on the Bushcraft USA 10x10 Coyote Tarp. And I really want to thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to try to get some more videos here soon. And some cows up on the ridge over there. But I'm going to get out some more videos soon. Hopefully start working on a gathering for this coming spring. And that's it. Check out the Facebook, hit the subscribe button, whatever corner it's in, and also check out the forum. I'll post all the links in the description. I'll also post a link to where I got the tarp and many other tarps that they have, and they have a large assortment of tarps in there, ranging from, I think, the 10x7 of this was, I think, $45, and so I got the 10x10, which was almost $70 with shipping. So they've also got, like I said, the olive brown 10x10 steel nylon for, I think, $120 or so, maybe a little bit less than that, which is a little bit expensive for my pockets. So I opted for the cheaper of the ones. And honestly, this isn't even the heaviest 10x10 that they had. There was one that was over 2 pounds, but I'm sure is much heavier duty than this one. And anyway, I'm Big Jesse with Texas Bushcraft. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.